Life is like a smoothie. Fun fact about me, I hate smoothies. Don't get me wrong, I love all the ingredients separately. Strawberries, blueberries, apples, bananas, yum. But blended together, yuck. They're disgusting. The thing about life is, in order to be enjoyed to the fullest, the ingredients have to be mixed together in a nice smoothie. At first, the fruits are the same, but after blending, their physical form changes. And for some people, this change creates delicious smoothies, but other people would much rather not drink liquidy fruit. Thank you very much. So today, let's first throw all the various reasons that people fear change into a blender. Then, we'll turn it on to create some new solutions on how to overcome this fear of change. Change is something that everyone experiences, whether they like it or not. So, Merriam-Webster Dictionary defines the word change, to make something different in a specific way. Now, change could be a small thing, like changing your shirt, or changing the way you think when you're solving a math problem. But change could also be a big thing, like a parent's divorce, or moving houses. Some people are much more prepared to take on the challenges that change throws their way. But other people, like me, like to stay behind in their comfort zones because that's what's most easy for them. Lots of people fear change, which is very understandable because it's very hard to deal with. When I was in 7th grade, my family and I took a trip halfway across the world to Nepal. My brother was so excited because we were skipping a few days of school, and he was telling every single person he saw about how happy he was. This is going to sound so weird, because what normal person wouldn't be excited to go on vacation and have school off? But the whole plane ride over, I was thinking about what my friends were doing back at school. They were probably all talking at the cafeteria table about all the new drama happening, or working on our Romeo and Juliet project in English class. I was also worried about what would happen after we got to Nepal. I knew the basics of what we were doing there, but not knowing that exact schedule really threw me off. Rod Mitchell, a registered psychologist, spoke with Medical News Today about the fear of change. The fear of change is our brain's natural way of reacting to new and unfamiliar situations. It's like a safeguard that helps keep us safe by encouraging us to stick to what we know. Now, change is understandably very hard for some people to deal with. If you've been doing something one way for your entire life, and then out of nowhere, it changes, it's going to be very hard to adapt to that new situation. This is why we need to start stepping out of our comfort zones. Now, people start fearing change because it's scary, and that's very understandable. For example, when I was younger, there was a club at my school called Odyssey of the Mind. My friend really wanted to join, so I went with her just to give her moral support. On the first day, we were split up into 2 separate teams. I was on a team with a bunch of older kids who looked like they were only there for the snacks. So imagine literally no one surprised when at the next meeting, none of them showed up. So the teachers had to reopen registration because there was only 3 people on the team. Luckily, we got new teammates, and funny story, some of those girls became some of my closest friends. I continued OM 2 years after that year, and we made it to Worlds every single year. This just goes to show that if you step out of your comfort zone and do something that's different for you, it may work out. In my case, I found some of my closest friends, and I learned some really important skills in that club. Even the fairy tales that we've read about growing up have been trying to tell us the urgent need to change. According to the article, what fairy tales teach us about growing up and letting go. In order to be strong, fulfilled adults, we need to be able to break away from our family of origin and forge our own path. In stories such as Snow White and Sleeping Beauty, the parents of the heroines are holding them back from becoming the strong woman that they will become soon. In Snow White's story, her evil witch is keeping her from growing up because she's scared that once she grows up, Snow White will become prettier than her. In Rapunzel's story, her mom keeps her locked away in a tower so that she may never find a prince and start a family of her own. Even Sleeping Beauty's family's well-meaning decision of burning all of the spindles in their kingdom slows her down from growth because in fairy tale language, whenever the girl falls asleep for 100 years, it symbolizes her growth into womanhood. These fairy tales show a very important reason of why change is important in life, because it gives us experiences like growing up, finding our friends, finding our passions, hobbies, and interests. Now, there's not really an easy way to get over the fear of change. It's more like getting used to change. Getting used to change is like getting into shape. Some people are just naturally quicker than others. Now, in order to get used to it, or getting over the fear, as you could say, we need to have a certain shift in mindset. According to Carol Dweck, an American psychologist, there are two main types of mindsets: a fixed mindset and a growth mindset. People with fixed mindsets believe that their qualities are unchangeable, or essentially fixed. So whenever they run into problems or challenges, they think of it like a block in the road that stops them from getting to their success, which is why they don't like change. Whereas people with growth mindsets think of problems and challenges as little bumps in the road. They think of it as like a learning process. So they are way more open to change. This is why changing our mindsets are very important to start embracing change. Change, change, change. It happens to every single person in here. So instead of running away from it, or in the case of smoothies, instead of being scared to turn on the blender, we should embrace it and just enjoy all of the experiences that it has to give. Because after all, it's just a part of life. Thank you.